All right, hey folks, Donna Durian here, host of the American Re-Evolution, formerly on Time Warner Cable, Woodstock, Channel 23, Public Access. As you hear in the background, Dave Mason singing, and I own no rights to this song, I only use it as a public use. Yeah, we've got a man in there imprisoned who feels all alone. I'm going to try to pull myself together here and get this out real quick because we have a TV program going on, no longer on TV, we're going to be on radio, Patriot Nation. We're going to be doing a blitz for Casey's birthday. Today is Casey Massey's birthday. This man deserves your service. This man deserves your support. This man stood on the border and protected this nation, not just this great state of Texas, from the invasion of the illegals who enter our nation, never once thinking about Rule 1, Law 1 that they break, okay? Coming into our nation and doing all kinds of despicable, unthinkable things to our children, our homes, our family. Now, Casey Massey happens to be sitting in a cell with mold growing on the walls. No sunlight. He's in a hole. Water is yellow and cloudy, and that is his drinking water. He's downstream from fracking, from oil drilling, and we all know that's not good for the public health. He's not given exercise. He's kept in his dungeon. He is in need of immediate medical assistance. It is filthy, deplorable conditions that we would not accept for an animal and would expect the ASPCA to rescue an animal from. Will you ignore a human's plight? A brother who needs you to fight for him? A man who is sick and needs medical attention? Governor Abbott, a man which sat and shook his hand and thanked him for the work he was doing to keep Texans safe, and had the nerve to say, if I were governor. Well, now you are governor, Governor Abbott. What are you going to do? Sit and ignore this man and in effect show yourself to be just another lying politician? Show how ineffectual the office of governor is in protecting the citizens of your state? A man who had such greatness as to be named Man of the Year by Habitat for Humanity in the year 2010, and all the care and help he gave to those less fortunate than himself. I personally think you are a blowhard pussy who hasn't the guts or the gumption to face off with a criminal, overreaching, goose-stepping federal government that has no right to negate the laws of the great state. Great because of its people, not because of its governance. Have voted for and agreed upon as that which will best serve their pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness and secure their safety. This is your prison. You are so despicable that you care not to effect change, but would rather sit about, much like a victim, and cry, woe is me. I am crippled in more ways than one. Crippled by fear of the federal government. Well, I have a newsflash for you. We, the people who have lent the government of these United States our power as the populace for these previous 236 years, which is the driving force that creates the wealth and worth of America, want it returned to us, and we want interest on that loan. And you better fear that. I've got here for you Casey Massey speaking from Carrizales Rucker Detention Center. I'm going to go ahead and play it for you, and I'm going to run a little bit of a slideshow for you of pictures of Casey Massey. But first, let me give you the latest update on what is going on with Casey. This just in from his wife, Christy. Okay. She spoke with him yesterday. He did see the doctor finally. Due to all the efforts of all the patriots and the 3%ers out there who will stand and will deliver for our brothers and our sisters of this great nation against a federal government that is not only despotic but tyrannical in nature. They are going to do a sonogram on him, an ultrasound on his kidneys, and do some other tests finally. But he still remains in a hole full with mold. Casey's condition mentally goes rapidly between up and down. it can rapidly deteriorate at any moment and if he's not shown the support he needs. We are doing a birthday card blitz for him. You can find the information in order to send him. I'm asking for postcards so that we can show this prison system and everyone else that sees them come in front of their face how far and how wide Casey Massey's support and reach goes. Okay, so that's the update from Christie. And that's what I'm asking. Go to either Secure Our Border, States' Rights to Sovereignty, or to the American Anti-Federalist Patriot Party on Facebook. You can easily find them. Now let me go ahead and let me run this for you, and we'll get Casey's words to you.
On record, Casey. Casey, let me put you on speakerphone. All right, are you there?
Yeah.
Awesome, we're on. Casey, tell me, what is going on with your medical problems?
Well, today they finally, I guess, between y'all calling, they finally called me back to the infirmary again today, and they gave me another piss test, which shows that I'm still fucking got a lot of blood and protein coming out of my kidneys. And so they said that they're going to let me see the doctor this week. I was like, well, goddamn, man, I've been asking for over 2 weeks now. He said, well, you know, we just have to make sure that you're not something that just came up. I said, look, every time you're taking a UA from me, it shows that I'm high in protein and high in blood. That is bad. The first time y'all tried to give me antibiotics and ibuprofen, which is bad for my kidneys, and I didn't take it. You tried to say that I was refusing medicine when you told me that I don't have an infection, so I don't need to take antibiotics, and I don't need to take ibuprofen that's going to make my kidneys worse.
Even worse. Absolutely. Good for you, Casey. Thank God you've got the intelligence level that you have. Awesome. Now, here's one of the things that the Geneva Convention states I'm going to make you aware of. They cannot put you off for a week to see a doctor. If you make a request to see a doctor, you must be able to see that doctor immediately and daily. Okay? As a matter of fact, that doctor should have come back and should have checked in on you after he prescribed that Bactrim. First of all, just as a doctor, he needed to reassess and evaluate whether or not you were allergic to it, having any kind of an anaphylactic shock reaction to it, or whether or not it was being effective at all. Just so you know, okay? Awesome.
Yeah, but they don't give a shit.
I know they don't, Casey. That's why you got people out here who do.
They're sucking me in. Like, they come to the door and they're like, do you want to go to the infirmary? And I'm like, what do you mean? Well, do you want to go to the infirmary? For what? I don't know. They just want you to come to the infirmary. Yeah, I guess. I got a fucking kidney problem. I need something done. It's killing me. So, I mean, the way they try to do it so that I'll be like, nah, I don't need to go. Or what?
Right. They're trying to push you to be like, seem as though you're being non-compliant. I absolutely understand that. They have made that statement to us. Christy, I'm sure you talked to her, went ahead and...
but see, that's a lie.
Oh, I know.
Because of that medicine that they were giving me.
I know that.
I didn't need.
I know that. Well, not only did you didn't need, which was not effective, they should have done a gram-specific culture to find out exactly what antibiotic to give you, and not just off the top of their head say, oh, we think this is his problem. Now, Casey, I'm going to tell you, I've done a lot more research on the shingles, okay? Now, this shingles, the secondary complications of shingles can be painful urination and kidney problems. Okay? I fully believe that that is what is going on in your situation, because I do remember you telling me, and I heard it on the recording you did with Lisa as well, where you stated that you had painful urination.
Yes, it's burning in my urethra.
Exactly.
I think it's from the blood and the protein.
No, sweetie, that will not do it. That will not do it. You can piss out all the blood you want, it will not make it burn. Okay? You can piss out a pure stream of blood, and it will not cause burning. I am quite certain from all the research I've done and all my background that I already have in knowledge on shingles that this is the issue. Let me also point something out. All the times when I kept pressing on you, Casey, we need to contact Louis Sorolla. We need to discuss with him the effects that ankle bracelet is having on exacerbating your shingles. You have to understand, shingles is a difficulty of the nerve endings. You had electronic and electric stimulation on your leg of your nerve endings. Am I wrong?
No, that's right.
Absolutely. And that is why I say there should have been no reason why we couldn't have presented it to the courts in such a way as to make them remove that ankle bracelet from you. When I did my research today on the UN, United Nations, prisoner treatment and that kind of thing, I also found out that the doctors can actually force the courts to release you from that prison if it is detrimental to your health in any ways.
I've even asked for them to do blood work because there's something going on with my prostate because it's affecting my urine stream. I've never had this problem before, but now it's like I piss like a little 3-year-old boy.
I know what you mean. That can also be a secondary complication. What happens is it's going systemic. You will wind up with a systemic staph infection if something is not immediately done. I have also been impressing upon everyone I have spoken to that when they 4-point shackle you the way they do, they need to wrap all your open lesions on your ankles with sterile gauze before they ever apply the shackles to your ankles, because I know where your problems definitely lie. I've seen it, okay? And that right there, we don't know where those shackles have been. We don't know what conditions they're kept in. We don't know how they're cleaned, if they're cleaned with medically acceptable.
You know they don't.
I know that, honey.
Shit.
I'm using this on the recording, okay? Anyways, and you're right. We know they don't clean shit. As a matter of fact, Casey, I found out quite a bit about that facility you're in. Do you know that it wasn't until 5 years ago they were actually able to pass minimum standards for health? Okay?
In my room on the wall.
There you go. I needed that on this tape, mold, and I need to write that down on walls. All right, see?
The cinder block has been wet for so long that it's blistered the paint off the block and there's mold growing on it. And that's out there where I take a shower and take a dump.
My point, okay.
This is a fucking nasty ass place.
Oh.
Get left up. And then they told Lewis that the reason that they had me locked up like this is for my protection. It's like, really? For my protection, I have to wear 2 pair of handcuffs, a belly chain, and leg shackles. That's for my protection because you're worried about me getting beat up?
Yeah, no, that's for their protection. The reason they do have you in segregation is that $50 million price tag on your head. That is why they put you in segregation. This segregation area that they have you in should be shut down. That is why I am all out to bring in the UN. I talked to Gary Hunt about it, and I gotta tell you, never before, and that man has pissed me off more times than I can state in one friggin' conversation with you, and you well know it. But when he turned around and he tried to tell me that I should not contact the UN in regards to your situation and that the Geneva Convention would not apply to you, I was more pissed off at him than I've ever been. Okay? They're in this nation. We are a part of the UN. At this point, we need to use that to counteract your abuse, and that's all there is to it. Okay? Now, Casey, I don't know how long we have on this call. There are a couple of things I really do need to address. You know, you've authorized us to go ahead and raffle off your motorcycle. I need to know some specs on that motorcycle so I can get this up, because we want to pull that ticket August 1st. Your wife desperately needs the help. She will not keep going. She will not be able to survive. Even if that house sells, you know it could take up to 30 days.
All right, folks, we'll go over the motorcycle specs at another time. Give me just a second. Sorry, folks, but I have not sold myself out to any of the alphabet soup agencies. And I don't have a studio such as the likes of Alex Jones or Glenn Beck, or the wannabes like them, such as Santilli and Blake Cooper and the other ones who have all this expensive equipment, even though they're constantly putting up GoFundMes on on Facebook to fund their things. I mean, Glenn Cooper put up a video asking for people to send him $5 each in order to pay off his mortgage because he's so destitute. Meantime, he's running all over the nation. He's got thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment. My equipment consists of a little video camera right here. Yes, I have some nice cameras, but I have receipts for each and every one of them that I paid for with my nursing salary. Yes, I am a nurse. This is why I can say with such a surety that the conditions that he is under is not only detrimental, but will exacerbate each and every one of his conditions. The fact that the water they give him to drink is yellow and cloudy will only harm his kidneys further. Folks, we need your help. We are going to be raffling off KC's electric glide. It does have branch tops. There is a lot more about that I will tell to you in the future. We will be putting these tickets up, the raffle tickets up, after the 4th of July weekend. Okay? I'm in the process now of having them printed and going to be getting them to Christy. Information for that will be put on Facebook, as well as likely Patriotic Warriors, who have also been very supportive of KC throughout this. They are the ones who funded his bus trip to Brownsville and paid for rooms for many of us. Just give me 1 second, folks. Okay, just a little bit of background music. And as I said, I'm sorry, I'm doing this all on my own. I no longer have a public access studio behind me. Okay? What you see behind me is a motel room. And now my phone's gonna ring. That's okay, because we're about to wrap this up. But this man, this song, Born Under a Bad Sign, yeah, that's what it's about. Since he was 10, 12 years old, he's been out there pretty much on his own. Well, let's not leave it on his own anymore, folks. Let's stand up. Let's do what's right. Let's help KC Massey. Let's see to it that our brother gets humane treatment. I am very proud of the patriotic community and the patriotic movement at this time for having jumped on board. And I want to thank WIN, World Integrity News Network, for having come on board and jumped in the fight so fast and so hard that Bobby, John, James, William, Bethany, Denise Freeman, a host of people that I'm sorry if I haven't mentioned your name, but we do thank you all. Christy fully needs your support. You can go ahead and you can help by going to PayPal and by making a donation at freekcmassey@gmail.com. Boy, I'm glad I have a loud voice to be able to speak over that phone ringing in the background. Folks, thanks for your time. Thanks for all your efforts. And we beg of you and we plead with you, do not leave a man behind on the field of battle, ever.